In 897 AD, the Catholic Church dug up a corpse, dressed it in papal robes, and put it on trial for crimes against the Church. The dead man had been Pope himself just months earlier. What followed was one of the most bizarre trials in human history. Pope Stephen VI had a serious grudge against his predecessor, Pope Formosus. The two men had been rivals for years, caught up in the violent political chaos of medieval Rome. When Stephen finally claimed the papal throne, he decided that simply outliving his enemy was not enough. He wanted revenge that would echo through eternity. So Stephen ordered the body of Formosus to be exhumed from its grave, where it had been decomposing for 7 months. The rotting corpse was dressed in full papal vestments and propped up on a throne in the courtroom. A teenage deacon was assigned to stand behind the body and answer questions on the dead pope's behalf. The charges were serious. Formosus was accused of illegally becoming pope, of perjury, and of various violations of church law. The trial proceeded with all the formality of a legitimate legal proceeding, except, of course, that the defendant was a decaying corpse that could offer no defense. Stephen reportedly screamed accusations at the body, demanding answers from the silent remains. The outcome was never in doubt. Formosus was found guilty on all charges. Stephen ordered that all of his papal acts be annulled and declared invalid. The 3 fingers on his right hand that he had used to give blessings were cut off. Then, in a final act of desecration, the body was stripped of its robes, dragged through the streets of Rome, and thrown into the Tiber River. But the story does not end there. The Roman people were horrified by what they had witnessed. Within months, public outrage turned into open revolt. Stephen VI was overthrown, thrown into prison, and strangled to death by his enemies. Meanwhile, a monk had quietly fished the body of Formosus from the river and given it a proper burial. Later, popes would officially rehabilitate Formosus and declare the Cadaver Synod, as historians now call it, null and void. The trial became a symbol of the corruption and chaos that plagued the medieval papacy during this era, sometimes called the pornocracy or rule of the harlots. It reminds us that even the most sacred institutions can descend into madness when power and personal vendettas take over. The Cadaver Synod stands as one of history's strangest examples of justice gone terribly, grotesquely wrong. Sometimes the past is stranger than any fiction we could imagine.